How's it going, guys? Welcome back. As most of you know, we have been renovating our kitchen for the last 7 or so months. And in that time, I have been collecting vintage pieces to decorate the kitchen with. So I'm gonna do a little walkthrough of my most recent trip to the antique store, and then we will do the haul. But before all of that, I thought it would be helpful just to kind of share some of the images that I've saved on my Pinterest board so that you guys kind of get a feel for what it is that I'm looking to create. I'm really going for a cozy, collected, kind of lived-in look. So let me pull up my Pinterest board here. I'm just gonna share my screen with you. As I'm kind of scrolling through here, you may notice that a lot of these kitchens are entirely different from one another. And really, when I'm using Pinterest, I'm looking at details, and there are so many little tiny details that go into, you know, especially when you're redoing an entire space like this. And so a lot of times there's like one specific little detail in the photo that catches my eye, and so I will save it for that reason. We're actually going to scroll down a little bit here and find kind of some of the decor inspiration. So the first one that we're gonna look at is this one here, and I love the styling of this. I have so many ornate frames, moody portraits, bottles. Those are all things that I collect regularly and decorate with regularly, so I really liked the styling of those items in this photo. And they've got this like ledge kind of back on their range wall, which we are also doing. So at the top of our beadboard, there will be a little shelf. It won't go out very far, but enough room to like stack some smaller things on. And so I loved the styling of this. I found that one to be really, really inspiring. Here's the other side of that kitchen, just to kind of let you see what that one looks like. Our ledge is not gonna be that deep, so we probably won't be able to put books and things on it, at least not that way. Here's another one that I've pinned several times. This one, the main thing that I really liked is how they have decorated up on their range hood, and they've used that little like gallery rail up there, which is something that I also would like to do. And then the pan rail, so what's holding all of those pans. That's also something that we are wanting to do. They're kind of expensive. Actually, the gallery rail and the pan rails are pretty pricey. So I'm looking to find ways to DIY those in a less expensive way. So the goal is, by the time you see the reveal, I will have those things figured out. But if we don't, that's always something we can go back and add. So yeah, that was just kind of a couple of things that really stood out to me about this. I also loved how they hung just like a little tiny painting on their beadboard. That's really cute. A great use of like little frames and decorating it, making your kitchen feel a little bit more homey. Yes, keeping in mind that anything you put in your kitchen, you are gonna have to like wipe down pretty frequently, especially if it's near the range. But I mean, personally, I would rather have kind of a cozy kitchen and have to like deal with wiping it down more often. I will say any like pictures that I put in the kitchen, I likely will have behind glass, because obviously if it gets on the actual print, it'll be a lot more difficult to keep clean. In this one, they've used peg rail. That's another great option for hanging things up. So that's a good idea if we like can't come up with a good budget-friendly way to do the pan rail. Peg rail is great, very classic looking. Let's see. This is another kitchen that I really love. You can just see this is like a collector's kitchen, and it has that lived-in feel. Lots of rolling pins that have been collected, bowls kind of stacked in other bowls, pots, pans, just a lot of different pieces that give it that really like lived-in vintage feel. So I like that one a lot. Here's another view of that kitchen. I really love the curtains that are behind the glass on the doors. And we do have a door that has glass. That one leads out to the sunroom. So I am planning to put curtains there as well. I think it adds just like this like softness to it. This feels very like French inspired, which I love. So this is, I think, the same kitchen as well. But lamps in the kitchen. Love that. We actually have some little ones in there right now. I might swap them out, but lamps, there's little like baskets and hanging pots, paintings. So then in this one, I really liked the champagne bucket holding all the utensils. So I actually bought a champagne bucket to do exactly that with. Okay, so let me see if there's like one more that I can share with you. Oh, this one. This one's really pretty. I love the use of these plates to fill in that really small space they have between their range hood and their cabinet. Very, very cute. You can see they have actually a little lamp in theirs as well. And then even just utilizing like the sides of the cabinets to hang something. I don't think I'd necessarily hang knives, but you could hang pans or even a little picture there, something like that. But just kind of utilizing a lot of the surfaces that you have and not thinking that you can only put things on the countertops. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of what I'm looking to do styling wise for the kitchen. And we're gonna do a quick little antique store walkthrough and then we will get into the haul. took some time before sitting down to share this to figure out what I spent on these items. So for the most part, I know exactly what I spent. I will give you a guesstimate around about what I spent if I can't remember exactly, but I always like to share because I think it's encouraging that you can create a beautiful space on a budget. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg. Let's see, what should we start with? I'm gonna start with this one. This is one of the things that I kind of picked up probably spring or summer last year during garage sale season. So this is a silent butler. I have never had one of these before. This is incredibly handy and also so pretty. What you do with these, if you don't already know, which I'm sure most of you do, but it's like a little pretty dustpan, and you just get a little broom. Actually, a subscriber sent me this in a package full of stuff, and I was like, oh, perfect. But I see vintage brooms all the time out antiquing. They're very inexpensive, but this is great. I actually use this a lot in my Christmas decorating this year because all of the like pine needles would fall all over everything, and this was perfect to just like sweep them up into, also for crumbs. So I think it's perfect in the kitchen if you just need to like sweep some crumbs off the countertop or something like that. It's got this beautiful like etched floral design in it. It's brass, it's got a beautiful patina to it, a wooden handle, just really pretty. And then it's got this nice little handle kind of thing, but it almost looks like a little claw foot to me. Super, super handy. So if you see one of these when you're out thrifting or antiquing, definitely snag it. Handy and pretty. So this one, whew, this thing is heavy. This is a marble mortar. I got this from an estate sale on half price day. It's this gorgeous marble with this beautiful dark veining throughout. I thought this was so pretty. It was originally, this is so heavy. It was originally $18. I got it for $9. So yeah, it doesn't have the little pestle that goes in it, but I think really anything that's like bowl shaped, you can store all kinds of stuff in it. So I thought it'd be perfect just to store something in on the countertop. So I picked that one up for $9. Old kitchen utensils are perfect for decorating your kitchen with. So I found this wooden masher. I thought this would be perfect. As I was saying earlier, we're gonna have that ledge that runs along that range wall. It's not gonna be very deep, so I really had to keep in mind as I was looking for things that would be small enough to fit on there that I could style with one another. And so this was kind of one of those pieces that I thought would be perfect. Kitchen themed. It's also this really pretty dark wood tone, which we will have the range hood will be a dark wood. Let's see, I paid $5 to $10 for this. This was like one of the few items I couldn't remember the exact price on, but yeah, $5 to $10. I saw a lot of these when I was out looking. So speaking of items that I got to put on that shelf specifically, of course I'm gonna have art that we'll be using on there, but I also found this little tiny candlestick, and I have to say I have so many candlesticks, but this one I just thought was so cute and so tiny that I actually would be able to layer it with something else. It's got this really cute kind of like spiral neck on it and just brass. I need to order like the world's smallest candle to go in here. I think they sell them on Amazon, but yeah, I just thought this would be a really cute little piece that I could actually fit in front of something and be able to actually layer, even though the space is gonna be really small. I did end up paying, oh gosh, what was it? I paid $10 for this, which is kind of a lot for a brass candlestick, but this one was just so tiny and perfect for that spot that I was willing to pay the higher price for that. Anyway, very cute, and I think it'll be perfect for styling up there. Initially in our kitchen design, we were hoping that we could do the Harlequin pattern on the floors using the original wood floors, but we weren't able to save them. I know so many of you guys are following along, but if you're new, we ended up going with tile, which is beautiful, the black and white Harlequin tile, but I feel like in that we lost a bit of the warmth. We do have the range hood that we are building currently, and it is a dark wood tone, but I wanted to incorporate a lot of pieces that would also bring that dark wood tone in. And so I've been collecting architectural salvage pieces for a while, and I didn't necessarily intend for all of them to go in the kitchen, but a lot of them are gonna go in the kitchen and are gonna work for that. I've shared several of those in previous hauls, so you'll see them in the final video, but this is kind of one of those pieces that I recently found that kind of fits in that category. It's got a beautiful natural like patina to it, so it looks very worn, very old world, and it's just such an interesting shape. It almost looks to me like a chess piece or something, which I love. I think that's kind of fun with the, you know, checkered floor pattern. I just found this recently at the antique store, and I paid $9 for this. So I was talking earlier about that brass rail that we want to do, so I wanted to get items that I could hang from it other than just pans. Like I haven't really found any pans, but if I do find, you know, a nice vintage pan that I want to hang up, I will snag one of those. But I also like the idea of just having some different things, different shapes, different sizes. And so I found these brass trivets, which I think also are handy to have in a kitchen. I think they'll be really nice just hanging up as well. So this one, here, I bought these as a set, and they were $10 for the set, so $5 each. This one's got a cute little bird on it and the hearts. I thought that was really, really cute. So I guess I could hang this one this way. But then this is the other one it came with, which is just a nice design. And it also has like a little heart. $10 for the pair, really pretty and functional. You can actually use these, so I love that. Something else that I got to hang on that brass rail, I think, is this little tea strainer. This is, again, like a wire, it looks like a brass, and it's kind of got this basket weave design. It's got a little handle so you can, you know, set it on your cup. And yeah, I thought if nothing else, this would just be really, really cute to hang in there somewhere. Tiny little thing, but I think it's nice to have a variety of different sizes and shapes and whatnot to create a lot of interest. So I paid $12 for this. And on the subject of tea, I actually found this really cute little tea bag holder, and it's in the shape of a teapot, which my mom collected vintage teapots, so they're very sentimental to me, and I just have like a soft heart for teapots in general and teapot shaped items. So when I saw this, I thought this was really, really cute. I've actually been having a cup of tea every evening. It's such a calming little ritual to have. And so I was like, oh, that'll actually come in handy since I've been doing that lately. So this was $2.50. They actually had several of these. They had like a whole set of them. So, very cute. I think it does have a little marking on the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see it at all. It's kind of engraved in there. But there's a bit of crazing and whatnot on the back. So that makes it a little harder to see. Just a small little something that I can kind of display in there on the cabinet somewhere. Maybe I'll have like a little tea section or something, a little tea area. So this next one is one that I was really excited to find, and it's this little soap dish in this brass footed holder. I think this definitely has like this very, I don't know, French kind of feel to it, but I've been storing my sponges, like my dishwashing sponge in it. I think you could also do like a dishwashing brush or a soap pump in it would be good. I am having a little issue with this though, because it's leaving rust stains on my countertop because of the metal feet. So I have tried using those little felt sticky things that you put on the bottom of furniture. Like I cut them down really small and put them on there, but the feet are so tiny they will not stay on. I've thought if I could find some kind of little silicone sleeve to put over it, that would be good. I haven't really found anything that would work for that though. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I could put something underneath it, I suppose. I wouldn't want to do like a silicone mat or anything. I guess I could get like a little marble, you know, I don't know, not coaster, but something of that sort to stick underneath it. That way it's not leaving stains on the countertop. I've thankfully been able to get them all out, but it's not something I really want to keep battling, but it's so cute. I want to keep using it in the kitchen. I have to imagine you'd have the same problem in a bathroom since it would be getting wet in there as well. So there's got to be some kind of solve for it. But anyway, I paid $25 to $30 for this. Like I can't remember the exact price, but somewhere in there. I think it was totally worth it. I think it's a really pretty way to display something, you know, some type of necessity that's not as pretty. And then this actually is another item I could use on that shelf. It's this Italian vase. So pretty. I love the ornate detail of this. I thought this would be perfect to use as a little bud vase, either on that shelf or even in the windowsill, something like that. But it's just the perfect thing to put just like a single flower in. It's just so beautiful. I love the handle on it. It's got a little made in Italy marking on the bottom. This reminds me almost of Beauty and the Beast. It's just very ornate, very pretty. Anything with feet, I'm all about it. So this is one that I got when I got the masher. So I had to guess on the price of this. I think I paid around $15 for it. It might have been a little more than that, but somewhere in that range. But it's so pretty. I just had to have it. And speaking of feet, we've also got these brass planters. I got a set of 2 of them. Actually, I think they were sold separately. These were $6 each, but they were kind of in the same booth. I think these are like exact matches pretty much, but I like them stacked together. I'd have to put a little something in this one so that it kind of sits up like that. I think that's really cute. You could also put a plant in it, flowers. I could store, wooden spoons or really anything in them, but they've got a nice patina to them, footed, pretty handles. Thought these were a very cute little set. So we'll definitely style those. And then I also got this Fostoria pitcher, and I am a big fan of clear glass. I think it matches anything and everything. It's typically inexpensive because it's not considered like a highly sought after like vintage item, but I love clear glass. I think it's so pretty, and the way the light sparkles off of it. Yeah, I loved this because it's got like this really pretty scalloping around the top, a pretty handle on it. And my thought on this was that I could actually use this as a vase for a little floral arrangement, and it would fit really nicely on the sink side of our kitchen. We have some upper cabinets, so I could put a little floral arrangement in this over there and it would fit. So I thought that would be nice. I paid $8 for this. So pretty. And a rolling pen. So funny story, we don't own a rolling pen, or we didn't. We do now, obviously, since I found this one, but we somehow have gone forever and a day without a rolling pin in our house. And I love how in so many photos I've seen people just like collecting them. So I went on the hunt as I was out looking, and I saw a ton of rolling pins. There was actually one booth that I saw that had just like a huge collection. They had like a display specifically for rolling pins, and there were so many different ones. I picked this one because I liked the black handles because we've got black on the floor. I want to try to bring some black, up higher. And so I thought this one would be perfect. I couldn't really find any that were a darker wood tone, which is kind of really what I was holding out looking for, but I found this one. I will continue to kind of pick some of them up so that I've got several of them to display and also handy. I also saw some really cool ceramic ones, so I'd love to find like a ceramic one that like matched with our kitchen. I think most of the ones I saw had some really pretty blues in them. We just don't have a ton of blue in our house. That's like the one color I don't really have a ton of. I tend to go like more with the greens. I also saw some clear glass ones, and I think that would be really cool. So at some point I'm gonna pick one of those up as well. I paid, what did I pay for this? $10 for this. And I saw them ranging anywhere, because like I said, I looked at tons of them, anywhere from $10 to like $30. They're just a range of, pricing on rolling pins. But I also grabbed this vintage ladle. It's kind of rusted. Like, I don't think this is something I'm gonna actually use, but I do like the idea of just displaying this. I'm not like planning to buy a ton of stuff that I can't actually use, but I do think because it's got this like nice patina on the handle, it just gives that like vintage feel. So it's got kind of a black wooden handle. It's got a lot of wear on it, and it's got a little hanging hook on it. So I'll be able to hang it up as well. What did I pay for the ladle? $7 for this guy. As I was saying earlier, I did find a champagne bucket to display our utensils in. I do think this one's polished, so it doesn't have as much of like a patina to it as I would have liked, but it's the closest thing I could find to what I was looking for that wasn't $70, because most of the champagne buckets I was seeing were like 75 and up. And this one I think I paid around 34, and I did order this from eBay. So I did pay like a shipping charge and whatnot, but anyway, it's got like a nice little handle on it. Very cute. Came in handy on New Year's too. So I will likely pick another one up at some point because it's nice to actually have a functional one as well to use for those special occasions, but really cute way to display utensils. Another one of my favorite finds that I'm hoping to use in the kitchen are these. So I got these several months ago. They were a Facebook Marketplace find. They are made out of resin. They have these amazing lion's heads on them. She had them listed as a tapestry holder. I think you could also use them as a curtain rod holder, so that's what I'm hoping to do with them over the kitchen window. They do stick out a little ways, but I think because we have cabinets there, it should be fine. We'll see. I guess if the curtain feels like it's coming too far off of the window, that might be the only problem, but I just thought these were so cool, and I love the lion's heads. It feels very, I don't know, Narnia, very like whimsical fantasy. And so when I saw them, I had to have them. I messaged the gal, and unfortunately she said, oh, somebody's already coming to pick them up. I was so bummed. So I started doing like a Google search, like a photo search, to see if I could find, you know, some other, like another set. And nothing. There was like nothing else that I could find like it. So I was really bummed. I told her if for some reason it falls through, let me know. And sure enough, she said, hey, the person messaged me this morning. She said she didn't have the money for it and they're yours, basically, if you can come get them. She said, I messaged somebody else, so whoever can get to them first gets them. And I was like, let's go right now. I will meet you. So $5. And I love these. I'm determined to use them in the kitchen, but if they don't work in there, I will find a spot for these. I think they're so cool. So the last two items were kind of pricier, but they are gonna be kind of showstopper pieces that we're putting in the kitchen. So the first one that I'm gonna show you is a light fixture. We needed something to go over the sink, but because it's fairly close to the wall, we couldn't, you know, get anything that was too big. And I really wanted it to be like a brass and crystal chandelier of some kind. And I searched and searched and searched when I finally found this eBay shop that has these gorgeous fixtures, and they are little swag lights. So this one actually has like a cord with a plug-in for an outlet on it, but Luke's gonna hardwire this into the ceiling for me. But the shop, I think what they do, because they have multiples of some of these items, is I think that they collect vintage chandelier pieces and then they make smaller fixtures out of the pieces, because I know like this exact one they had several of, and they just had so many different versions. It was so cool to look through the shop. I went through and saved tons and tons of them, but I liked this one a lot because a lot of them were kind of longer, whereas this one had a bit of width to it, not a ton. I'm hoping it doesn't feel too small over there, but like I said, this is just hanging over our sink, which typically I feel like are smaller pendants anyway. So yeah, you can kind of see the pretty like leaf kind of detail under here. And the crystals are just so pretty. Very excited about this. I paid $99 for this, and then shipping, of course. So I think I paid around $120 for this, $130, something like that. My goal was to get a fixture that was under $150. So that's kind of where I was finding that I was limited on finding something that was vintage that I really liked. So the light fixtures that he had in his shop, they really ranged in price. This was probably one of the lower end prices, but I'm gonna link his shop below, because if you're looking for something like this, he had so many beautiful ones. So definitely go check that out. Now, it didn't come with a chain, and it didn't come with a little, oh, they're not a medallion, but you know, the little piece that kind of covers up the wiring on the ceiling. So I did have to get some of those separately. They do sell those in the shop as well, so I guess you could purchase them that way, but the vintage ones are a little pricier. So I ordered one from Amazon. I'm gonna try to rub and buff it to make it look a little more, I don't know, a little more aged. But anyway, really pretty. I'm excited to get this up. And then the last piece is this mirror behind me. And I got this off of Facebook Marketplace. I did share this in one of the renovation vlogs, so some of you have seen it, but I didn't share it in a haul, so I wanted to bring some attention to it in this video as well, because I feel like it's gonna be such a big show-stopping piece in our kitchen. I remember coming across this on Facebook Marketplace one evening, and I thought, gosh, that would be so cool if I could find a spot for it in the kitchen. Like, it would just make such a statement. So I grabbed the tape measure at like 10 o'clock at night and ran in the kitchen with it to try to measure and see if this wall that I have would fit this piece. And thankfully it did. I think I actually waited a day or two before I said anything, and I'm glad I did because they actually marked it down. It was originally listed, I think, for $150, and then they had changed the description of it because originally I think it was under wood carved mirror, and it was changed to resin, so it's also a resin piece, and they marked it down to $100. It's got this really nice, like, aged look on the glass, and it's just beautiful. It's huge. So when I went to go pick it up, it was at an auction warehouse, and they had told me that they purchased a lot from a local, like, high-end home decor store. When the gal went to go pick up her lot, because she sold it before she actually had it in her possession, she told the gal, like, oh yeah, I've already sold that mirror, and she asked her how much she sold it for, and she's like, oh, you could have sold it for more. It's an Uttermost, which I had never heard of before, but apparently it retailed for somewhere between $450 and $500 originally. So I got a great deal at $100, and I actually saw this exact mirror at Paramount Marketplace at 13th and Woodlawn. So I don't know, I can't remember if it was still there when I was in there the other day. It may be gone already, but if you love this mirror and you're looking for something similar and you're in the area, there is another one floating around out there. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's still there, but definitely worth checking. I cannot wait to see this mirror in its place and also share that with you guys, as well as just styling all of these pieces in the kitchen. So that wraps it up for today's video, but if you want to see me styling these, be sure to keep an eye out for our kitchen reveal video. We should be getting to that here pretty soon. Gosh, I cannot wait. 7 months of like build up to this moment that will be coming very soon. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys very soon in a brand new video. Bye.